It's your boy Fisher Go Getter, man. Welcome to the Blueprint Table podcast. This is episode 4. And today we're doing it a little bit different, man. You see who we got right here. We got our producer. We got Q right here, man. Q, let him know.
Yo, what's going on, man? It's Q. I'm the producer for the Blueprint Table. It's a little special episode right now. We gonna talk a little about EVs and stuff like that, but he gonna get it started off. So
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We got a few relevant topics for you guys today. First topic is going to be about electric vehicles. We're going to be starting off with the EVs, right? Shout out to our boy Brandon, too. Brandon couldn't make it today, but, we doing what we can, but Brandon's going to be here at the next one. But
yeah,
first topic we got, man, is the EVs, so electric vehicles, right? So we got electric vehicles, right? With our world changing and going, shifting more to our electric vehicles, we're going to be touching on that today and touching on how BYD is a company who's outselling Tesla in Europe, right? So with that being said, um, Tesla, right? Let me just get this right here, right? BYD outsold Tesla in Europe. So does this mean Tesla is losing its crown, or is this just a short-term wave, right? So I'm gonna ask you first. What do you think? You think BYD is a company that could take over Tesla, or is it just a short-term wave?
I think in the long run, BYD will outsell Tesla just because of the product of the car and the quality of the car. Even like those EVs, like Neo. It's overall it's better than Tesla. So eventually in the U.S., if it's not even now, it will. I'm pretty sure it will outsell. But we'll see what the quarter's going to look like pretty soon. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree, man. It's definitely possible for BYD to take over Tesla because in other countries, other electric vehicle companies are being bought more than Tesla is being bought. So here in the U.S. we see Teslas every day, but really that's also due to the fact that the U.S. puts a restriction on what EVs are being sold here in this country anyway. So with that being said, when they open up that restriction and maybe China's electric vehicles are able to come over here and we get companies like Neo, and we get companies like BYD, right? We can definitely see more electric vehicles, less Teslas on the road, and more other companies when it comes down to electric vehicles. And on top of that, right, my mother, right, so shout out to my family, man. These guys just went on an Arizona trip. And what I got from that Arizona trip was the fact that they saw a lot of Waymo self-driving cars,
they
right?
going
So
crazy.
the self-driving Ubers are going crazy. So Waymo is a company that's partnered with Uber to have self-driving cars. And my sister was telling me she saw them all over Arizona. So you know, Q here is a guy who takes Ubers around the city, man. So my question to you is, man, how do you feel about hopping into a self-driving Uber? You tell me how you feel about that.
I don't know. Me personally, I think those Waymo. That's how you pronounce it,
Yeah,
Waymo.
yeah, yep.
I think those cars, eventually, the Uber drivers, they're not even making that much in one of the top earning cities, which is Seattle. So I think eventually they will take over. I feel more comfortable letting a robot drive than some of these humans out
That's
here. For real, I definitely do. So
that's different than what most people are saying, man. Most
yeah,
people is afraid to hop into a robotic uh, car, right?
yeah,
Self-driving car. But based off what you said, I mean, it's right. I mean, you can there's times where you can trust this self-driving car, right?
yeah,
More than some other humans, right? Because I've been in some Ubers too, and some of these Ubers are a little bit iffy,
yeah.
right? But what
They,
was you about to say?
if they're not from here, they probably drive crazy.
See,
So
exactly. That is very much true. And then it just shows you the time of the world that we're going into, man. We know people are losing jobs, and you hear it all the time. People are losing jobs, and this is a clear example of where we can see jobs are going to be lost in the future, right? So
exactly.
people who are relying on driving Uber for money, right? Um, that slowly is something that's going to be pushed out because now you got the robotic cars. The more they input and the more these robotic self-driving cars get better, right, the less people they have driving the cars. And on top of that, let me touch on Tesla. And so Tesla, my uncle, he has a Model X, and my father, he has a Cybertruck, right? So my when it comes down to the self-driving on the Teslas, I didn't realize how great it is, right? So my
Really?
my uncle, man, he was telling me how he was on the freeway, He was tired after he had just did a workout or something, playing some sports or something. But he ended up falling asleep during the self-driving mode on the freeway and got to his destination, right? So first, that's something that you can do. And second, when I was in my dad's Cybertruck, we was in a tight parking spot at the zoo. Um, he put on the self parking mode in the Cybertruck. Mind you, we're in a Cybertruck. We're in a tight parking lot.
That's crazy.
We got cars all around us. I watched this Cybertruck in the self-driving mode reverse into this parking spot with this big Cybertruck. It backed in, backed out, did what it needed to do to reverse and get in there in a tight spot. So I'm saying that to say these cars are getting very efficient, and Tesla and their model when it comes down to the self-driving cars is efficient. So if you're an Uber driver, man, you gotta watch out pretty soon. You gotta watch out. You gotta make that exit plan, man. You gotta make that blueprint.
Yeah, you better make sure you're driving better than all of these EVs out here, because that's the only way. But soon enough, if more of y'all, become out of a job, you'll definitely have something to fix. There's definitely more opportunity out there. Even, I would say, being a mechanic for, some of these electric vehicles. What do you think?
I think so too, for sure. I think so too, for sure. I have a friend who's going to school for engineering and mechanics for these robots that are about to be used day to day, right? So if you are going to school, I think it's smart to get ahead and do something that's going to learn something that's going to put you at an advantage during this new phase of life that we're going into, right? So learning how to operate on the robots and manufacture the hardware to the robots that are going to be used and the artificial intelligence are going to be used. I think that's a great skill to pick up on. Great skill to pick on, because the same way you got people like you were just talking about, the same way you're a mechanic on a car, that's kind of becoming outdated. So now you got to become a mechanic on a car that drives itself.
Exactly.
Which is different, man. Which is definitely different,
That's
man.
next level. Even if you're not working on the car, you may be working on the machine that the machine is working on the car.
Yes.
So
this is, and even when it comes down to AI, right? People are afraid of losing their job, right? But you're not gonna lose your job if you stay up to date, right? If you keep yourself updated. Yes, AI is gonna be doing a lot more jobs, but you need to learn how to use AI, right?
Exactly.
Because the best way AI works is combined with natural intelligence. Shout out to 19 Keys. I got the formula, man. AI plus NI, which is artificial intelligence, plus natural intelligence equals enhanced intelligence. So you combine your natural intelligence with the artificial intelligence that enhances the intelligence that everybody has. So yeah, man.
yeah.
We're gonna be talking about this virtual reality, man. We got the Apple versus Meta, right? So we're gonna be talking about the VR, the augmented reality, and first, let's talk about the price tag on these Apple Vision Pros, man.
Yeah, which one costs more?
Man, the Apple Vision Pros is $3,500.
$35.
How do you feel about that price tag compared to Meta?
What, the Meta is like $299, right?
Yep, Meta's $299, Vision Pro, right? And those are the Meta. The Meta ones are the glasses, while the Apple got the actual headset. Would you rather have the glasses day to day, or would you rather have the actual Vision Pro headset?
See, I'm not too sure. I haven't used the what are the Apple ones?
The Apple Vision Pro.
The Apple Vision Pros. I haven't used those, but the Meta, I seen those. But I guess that you can be able to use the Apple Vision Pros like it's a computer. That's pretty dope.
That is pretty dope.
It's like a desktop, but for $3,500, bro, you can buy an M4. You can buy an M4 laptop for like $1,500.
That's like 2 M4 laptops for $3,500.
That's kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That is kind of crazy. I'm all with the technology, and I'm all with how crazy it is and how dope it looks, but I don't know if $3,500 is the price tag that we're looking to buy this at right now.
Bro.
You know,
I don't know. They gonna definitely have to put some be able to live stream on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to be able to do a lot of things up there, because that basically can buy you a little car, a little hoopty or something right now, for real.
That could definitely get you something. $3,500 is a good amount of money, especially the economy that we're in. So
yeah.
So look, the first question I got is, so look, you got Apple Vision Pro versus you got the Meta Quest. Is VR going to change the way we work, or do you just see it as expensive entertainment?
I do think Depending, I don't know if Apple's product is able to, have gaming up there.
Yeah.
It could be just, for play, but if you're using like Meta, being able to record videos and etc., or even like if you would record like a how to video or whatever craft you're doing, or maybe, you're a cameraman and you got on, the Meta glasses and you basically showing people how to use certain functions or how to get certain shots or even to cook food. But when it comes to that, yeah, I think it could be, used for business, but I don't know too much about on the Apple side. It seems
Yeah.
like a big computer.
Yeah.
On glasses, that's about it.
Yeah, facts. And I completely agree with what you're saying about Meta. I think these glasses is something that could definitely help us in our day-to-day life. Something on top of everything that you just mentioned as the benefits, Meta also has the ability to translate language, right? So when you're speaking to somebody with a different
Oh,
language, you could be having these glasses on, it's going to translate that language for you, right?
yeah.
Apple just came out with that with the AirPod 3s, the AirPod Pro
Word?
3. Yep. So that's going
Oh,
to be.
so they basically, if somebody's speaking Mandarin,
Hmm.
and is it like to the time? Like as they speaking, can it like hit back in
I
your ear?
believe so. I don't know. I don't know.
That's next level.
That's how I would assume.
What's the price on those?
The new AirPod 3 Pro 3s is you gonna have to check. You pulling it out. I got you. But yeah, and even with Apple Vision Pro, I actually do see that being something that helps our day to day lives better, right? Kind of like what you said, it is kind of like a big computer, right? And we mentioned this, we talked about this a little few days ago in our own personal conversations. But I seen somebody with their own setup who was using just the Apple Vision Pro, a keyboard. Um,
$249.
they're $249 for
That's
the
not
Pro
bad.
3s. That's not bad.
Yeah,
That's
that's not
that's
bad.
that's how much the last ones were. Pro
Yeah,
2s around 200, 250,
yeah.
right? So now you get translation when talking to people, which is dope. That's gonna come very handy.
That's next level.
That's next level.
So
So you even got people who speak English, who don't know how to speak Spanish, can listen to somebody who speaks Spanish, but somebody who don't know how to speak Spanish can listen to somebody who speak English now.
yeah, because that's basically like if you got a skill or you in tech and you want to go work out of the country, but the country you want to go to, or I don't know, it could be somewhere in Thailand or wherever or whatever team you want to go to. You don't even have to learn another language, depending on who you are. But it's like a little cheat code
It,
technically,
it is a cheat code. It is a
depending on how
cheat code.
fast it respond.
So I do see this kind of going into our lives seamlessly and helping us day to day, right?
Yeah,
Just like with everything else, honestly. Technology can be used for, the for the good and bad, right? This could be something that can enhance our day to day life and help it be more um, seamless and streamlined. Or this could be something on the opposite, which is the next question that I'm going to get into, which somebody could put these glasses on and completely bury themselves in this digital world, right? Because when you put
uh,
them glasses on, you got the VR glasses. What really is the point in coming outside if you got everything you need to do in this digital world? So my question to you now is: do you think we're heading into a future where reality and digital blend so much that we're not going to be able to separate them?
oh yeah, I think we already there right now.
That's
we
true.
on some Ready Player Number One type of stuff. If you don't know what that is, like
Yeah,
we definitely on those times. It's like it's not. It doesn't seem like we're like technically there because of the virtual reality, but we are attached to our phones and stuff, and it's technically the same thing. So what we see every day, we live in our phones.
we're getting closer and closer because, like you said, we live in our phones. Like I'm sure we can walk outside and see 5 people walking down the street on their phone, right? To the point where we've mastered that so much to the point now where we can walk down the street without looking up and
Yeah,
still be going headed to our destination,
yeah.
right? And you got that. So you got somebody walking down the street and how we walk the street day to day on our phone. Then you got the fact that we got the glasses now. So now you don't even need the phone. You can see a message that pops up
You don't,
on your
you don't
on
even
your
have to pull it
screen.
out your pocket.
You don't gotta
You just like Apple,
pull it out.
Siri.
Right. You got the AirPods on. When I be having my AirPods on, I don't even have to pull my phone out sometimes to say, "Hey Siri, send a message." It'll be, "Hey Siri, answer this phone call." "Hey Siri, send a message." "Hey Siri, do such and such." And then don't let so ChatGPT, you got OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT, they acquired the person who did all the hardware designing when it came down to Apple, right? So when it came down to Apple's hardware for their software,
Yeah.
they acquired OpenAI acquired the dude who did that. So now don't let OpenAI and
Make
ChatGPT
something
create
like that.
a phone
Yeah.
where now they have
Oh, they next
AI
up. They definitely
ingrained. That's
they
next up.
they
That's
definitely
next
next up because I think what Apple was 100 billion down from the last sales. So OpenAI come out with a phone. Oh, it's up, man.
It's up. That's
It's
all we're
up.
missing, right? We got.
Yeah.
That's all we're missing now is that
Yeah.
phone to replace iPhone. Because when it comes down to hardware now, Apple's hardware has always been nice, but you
Just a
see a lot of
brand.
phones nowadays that look like an iPhone. So
Yeah.
now what we need something different with our operating system, right?
Yeah.
Their iOS, and when it comes down to Siri, I mean, Ian Dunlap, shout out to you, man. Shout out to Market Mondays, man. He's touched on the fact that Apple needs to innovate their technology over and over. Siri is quite terrible when it comes down to
Yeah.
help, right? If you compare Siri to ChatGPT, it's not too helpful. But if we had ChatGPT replaced for Siri, that would make the iPhone
That would be crazy.
crazy.
'Cause-
So if they don't do it and OpenAI does it, I'll go purchase a
Nah,
ChatGPT.
most definitely,
phone.
because man, I use ChatGPT every day versus Siri. I
Man.
tell Siri to go play me a song, it's playing the complete opposite.
The
I'm like,
complete opposite song, man.
Can't even get that right.
Complete opposite song.
So
man.
OpenAI, they make a phone. I will say it'll be top tier, and definitely once they become public on the market, oh man,
man, you need to grab that.
Once they
man.
become
you need to grab
public,
that.
it's over.
It's over, right? So, next we're gonna get into streaming and entertainment, man. So next we're gonna be talking about streaming and entertainment. We're gonna be talking about Netflix, Disney. We're gonna be talking about all these different streaming platforms. You gotta cut it so we can roll it, or we want to keep rolling.
No, you keep going.
All right, bet we can keep rolling, man. So look,
Is still red?
yeah, it's still red. Yeah.
I'm tripping. Oh, you good.
Bet. So first, I'm gonna ask you, right? As us being hard workers that we are, I don't think you watch too much TV, but when you do watch TV,
Yeah.
what platform are you using?
I'm on YouTube every single day.
Yeah,
YouTube every day to learn something.
Yeah, me too. So you're on YouTube, right? How often do you use Netflix?
Netflix probably take up like maybe like 10% of my time.
Yep.
Not too much of like just watching stuff.
I know what you mean. I think we could both conclude that you no longer use cable. I no longer use cable.
Bro, I don't use cable unless I'm going home and I'm looking at Mario or something. Right.
Exactly, man. So look, man. So you got Netflix, Disney Plus, you got YouTube, you got TikTok, man. This is where everybody's spending their time, right? So we've gone away from cable. That's completely gone, and now we got these streaming platforms, right? And you end up watching that fight with Bud and Canelo?
Bud and Canelo? Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That was crazy.
And they talking about already. They basically saying that this is just the beginning for boxing up there.
So, boxing up on the streaming platforms?
Up on Netflix.
On Netflix,
Yeah.
right? So and that's what we're getting into, man. So Netflix, they ended up streaming the boxing match on their platform. Then they also had the Jake Paul one, right? Not the last one. They streamed Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, huh?
I think so. I think there was like 106 million views versus
Yeah.
I think Terrence Crawford and Canelo was like 41 million.
That's
Somewhere
crazy.
around there, which that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of subscriptions.
Yeah, man.
And that's not even for the people on subscriptions that's, just watching the fight. There's other people who subscribe that's just up there for the media side.
Just up there, just because, right? So,
Yeah.
So you said you spend the most time on YouTube. I spend the most time on YouTube, per se. Why? Why do you spend the most time on YouTube? Why do you spend the most time on that specific streaming platform?
So I use YouTube because, YouTube is basically my teacher. And it's been my teacher since, I would even say high school. Everything I do is it's all self-taught. So even to become a barber, self-taught. Even to become, a cameraman, YouTube Academy. YouTube is definitely the next thing if it already hasn't been for the past, years. So it really can only continue to grow. And just like the platform where we posting this on, YouTube.
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree, man. YouTube is my Netflix, honestly.
Basically.
Literally, YouTube University, like Q said, man. Like my habit when I go home after this podcast, I'm gonna go home and turn on YouTube, right? Even if it is something that I wanna like. Truthfully, I'm gonna be honest, man. This past week, I've tried to turn on Netflix. I've tried to turn on
I feel
Netflix
you.
and I've really tried to watch a movie,
Yeah.
right? I've really tried to find something I like, but I end up always turning it off and going to YouTube.
Yeah.
Right? I'll find an hour-long podcast on YouTube, 2-hour-long podcast on YouTube, because that's my form of entertainment, right?
Exactly.
Learning, right?
That's
You
where
know,
you get your
YouTube is YouTube University, man. You learn everything, especially if you have your feed set up the right way. So, you know, YouTube is the way to go. And I think what I'm realizing now, I want to touch on the fact that these streaming platforms cater to specific personalities, right? So if you're somebody who wants to learn and you're eager to learn and you prioritize development, YouTube is your place, right? But if you're somebody who wants to watch quality TV, right? Netflix is your place, right? But then you got Disney Plus, you got TikTok, right? All these things, they have different type of personalities. Specific people cater to these specific platforms, right? So short form versus long form. It's TikTok and YouTube Shorts. It's TikTok and YouTube Shorts killing the movie night. So basically, that's like do you feel like the YouTube Shorts and the TikTok Shorts, all those short form content, is that killing our attention span for long form content?
Oh, most definitely. I don't know about not TikTok for me, but I think for most people, TikTok is definitely killing the attention span just because of the algorithm. So it's like the algorithm is already studying what you like, even if you're on a video for 1.5 seconds or whatever. They know what you are attracted to. So it's definitely taking away a lot of time. But I would say Instagram going through the reels and the funny stuff is like it'll get you if you don't really, lock in.
It will. No, it will get you. Like, it's a
Right.
real science. Like, I'm sure, we've all felt that moment where you're on Instagram and you didn't mean to be scrolling for as long as you were scrolling for, but then you feel stuck to the phone.
Bruh, facts.
You gotta put the phone down, man. And and that's coming from two people who have self-discipline. So we can only imagine for the people who don't have that and aren't developing that, how I could definitely see how you end up glued to the phone for 3 hours and a half, right? And that's killing your attention
Screen
span.
time, man. Hey, if you got a little TikTok addiction or whatever, put that little the timer on.
Yeah,
on the
you
iPhone.
need that. You need
Put
that.
I'm not gonna lie. When I go past 15 minutes, my timer is going off.
I got the same thing, man.
For real.
I got the same thing because it's the algorithm and the social media is set up to keep you hooked, and you got to be stronger than it. Right?
Yeah.
You got to be stronger than it, right? So
Yeah, most of these apps they trying to keep you on the platform. The longer you're on the platform, the more money they make, and the next thing that you click on, and so forth and so on.
with that being said, do you have a favorite social media platform? Like, do you have a preference?
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah,
yeah, YouTube all the way, bro. Come on.
No.
YouTube,
So if you
YouTube,
had,
yeah.
okay, let me rephrase my question. If you had to choose Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, which is your number one out of Instagram, Twitter, TikTok?
Would you have Facebook in there?
Let's add Facebook as well.
Yeah, Facebook.
You like-
Facebook? Not because somebody gonna be like, "Oh, you're an old head." Nah, Facebook because it got marketplace.
Oh yeah.
So Facebook because it got marketplace. It's not too many platforms that actually has marketplace. Facebook is actually one of those platforms where it's like it can kind of catch you on a lot of stuff depending on what you on.
Yeah.
You could be on Facebook and you could be on some family type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could be on Facebook and you might start seeing boxing matches and stuff.
Nah, for real. Look at my boy Q. Now you came with a really
for
good,
real.
valid point. Nothing else has a marketplace.
Not
If
at all.
Instagram had a marketplace where I could sell my Yeezys right now, you know how convenient that would be.
Yeah.
Like, Facebook is the only one that has a marketplace to sell
Facts.
your belongings. So no, I like that. I like that one.
We got something on the way for that too.
Oh yeah,
Something on the way
stay
for
tuned.
that.
Stay tuned. Oh, we might have to get out the way real quick.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh,
Oh,
make sure I'm still good.
how you good, bro?
All right, bet. Last thing we got before we close, man. We got one more topic, man. I want to talk about this one. So we got money in banking, right? So we're gonna go
You
cash,
said money and what?
money in banking.
Okay.
So look, man, we got cash versus digital cash, or digital money.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you still carry cash, or
Oh,
do you everything tap to pay with you now?
nah, no more cash. No more cash. Everything is all virtual for me. It's the easiest way, especially if you're doing bookings or anything like that. It's the easiest way.
Yeah, it's safe to say that we're moving towards a cashless world, right? And then plus the dollar is losing value.
Exactly.
I don't carry any cash on me either. Everything is tap to pay, which is pretty crazy, right? We are using our phone
Hmm.
to pay for things, and eventually, in China, they got the thing. I don't know if you heard where they can use your eyeball.
Oh yeah,
They can.
China. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
China.
so say the U.S. had that, right? Say the U.S. had that. Are you incorporating that into your daily life using your eyeball or your palm to pay for payments?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but I think China's more so they have access to everything.
They do.
So if you run a light, they gonna take that out your bank account.
Yeah, yeah.
so
China is.
I think it's like they don't give you a choice.
Yeah, they don't. That's the thing with the technology, in here and in China. Like we put restrictions on certain things, some things that you can do. Right,
Yeah,
China. They may seem a little ahead in technology because there's no restriction. Right, they got all type of things that they can build right now. Right,
exactly.
and it'll um what's the word that I'm looking for? But basically, it'll invade your privacy.
Most definitely.
It's just like we have TikTok. U.S. is fighting TikTok because they feel like it's an invasion on the privacy.
Yeah,
Right? They want a U.S. company to own TikTok, percentage of TikTok in the U.S. so then they could actually have that data not go to China and have it go to us.
uh,
But
aren't they saying something about like raising the tariffs or something like that?
yeah, they did say something about raising the tariffs too.
They said we're gonna need to make some money off of that.
They need to make some money off that TikTok app because China they created something that invades privacy, that gets information, and that makes money like crazy. So
Yeah.
um yeah. So with banking apps, Cash App, Apple, and crypto wallets. I think we already just discussed that. We're moving to a cashless world, right? In the next 5 years, I feel like we're moving to a cashless world. How do you feel about crypto?
Crypto, that's next level, man. When you come to, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and what's the other one? It's
You got Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP.
XRP.
Yeah,
XRP. Those are the
yeah,
top ones.
yeah, yeah. Those are the top ones, and
I do feel like, eventually, cause what, Bitcoin is like 115,000,
yep.
about around there.
Mm-hmm.
It's only going up, so eventually it's competing with gold right now.
It's competing with gold. It's that digital gold, right?
Yep.
If you don't got, it's the digital gold. Uh, Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP. That's what they're trying to make the new digital financial system, right? So not only is everything going cashless and we're moving towards digital dollar, we're going to the point where we're going digital money totally, and we're gonna have a digital coin,
Yep.
cryptocurrency, right? I think that's something that's actually coming sooner than we think, and it's something that we should wrap our minds around and get familiar with,
Exactly.
because
You know,
yeah. So
the more you you go to the digital currency and everything, you'll start to realize there's a lot of places you can put your money into. If it's not into like a secure wallet or a high yield savings account, there's multiple ways to multiply your money when you do go all virtual.
yeah, that is very true. And then we
So
could look, like when we talk about multiplying money, we was talking about this off camera before, and we can close it out like this, man. We can talk about the importance of investing your money, period, right? With the way that we're just talking about, our world is moving digitally, right? The dollar is losing value, right? And it's important that we buy assets, which are things that will make us money, right? Stocks, right? Investing into Tesla, right? Neo, right? The EV company,
Netflix.
investing in a Netflix, right? So acquiring assets into the economy that we're moving into, right? These next 5 years are going to change a lot with the way things look. Let's close it out for episode 4 of the Blueprint Table podcast, right? We're coming at you guys next week, right? Shout out to Q. And you got anything you want to finish us off with?
Oh man, just make sure we in a new we in new times right now, and time is going real fast. So make sure you're staying up to date with technology, with everything. So that's about
Yep,
it.
yep, bet. Well, Blueprint Table Podcast. We'll see you guys next week.
See you.